Do you often feel a burning sensation in your chest after dinner? Or maybe you wake up with a bitter taste in your mouth, even though you only had something light the night before? Some people call it indigestion. Others might say it's just a little acid. But I want you to pause for a moment and truly listen to your body, because sometimes it's the small, quiet symptoms that are actually your first warning signs. Your stomach and esophagus might be trying to tell you something long before you realize it. I've spent over 3 decades working with patients over 50, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Acid reflux doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care how healthy you eat or how busy your life is. It shows up when we've pushed ourselves too long and stopped paying attention to what our bodies really need. One gentleman once came to see me. He said, "Doc, I think I've got chronic throat issues. I'm always coughing, and I never sleep well." But after digging a little deeper, we realized he'd been living with acid reflux for years. No one had ever called it by name. And over time, he just got used to it, learned to live with the discomfort. Have you ever felt something like that? A burning in your chest that lingers. A dry burp that leaves a bitter aftertaste in the back of your throat. Or maybe you lie down at night and suddenly feel tightness, shortness of breath, or this strange urge to keep shifting around just to feel okay. If that sounds familiar, if you're living with it every single day, then this video is for you. Because I truly believe when we name our pain, we begin to heal it. And gastroesophageal reflux, what doctors call GERD, is the medical term for what most people simply know as acid reflux. It's one of those silent, creeping conditions that's easy to ignore. But if left untreated, it can do real damage to your esophagus, to your sleep, to your overall quality of life. So today I want to invite you to walk with me on a small but powerful journey. A video series called Freedom from Acid Reflux, one step at a time. We're not rushing this. We'll start by recognizing the symptoms, understanding the real root causes, and slowly, gently restoring your health right from home. Through food, through habit changes, and most of all, through tuning back into your own body. If something in this message speaks to your heart, please stick around until the end. And don't forget to open the video description. I've left a small gift for you there. You deserve to live a life without nightly heartburn, without dry coughing from acid, without waking up drained every morning. You deserve to breathe easier, sleep deeper, and feel lighter, even in your 50s, 60s, or beyond. And today I'll show you how to begin. Just one small step, starting now. So what exactly is acid reflux? Let me ask you to imagine this. There's a tiny little valve at the bottom of your esophagus right where it connects to your stomach. Think of it like a one-way door. It's designed to let food go down, but it's supposed to keep stomach acid from coming back up. That valve is called the lower esophageal sphincter. It's small, delicate, but it plays a critical role in keeping your digestive system running smoothly. Now, over time, that little valve can weaken. Age, stress, and habits like eating too fast, lying down right after a meal, or drinking too much coffee or alcohol, they can all make that door stop closing the way it should. And when that happens, the acid your stomach produces, meant to break down food, starts to flow backward, up into your esophagus, an area that's far more sensitive than you might think. You might not feel sharp pain in your stomach right away, but you will feel it in other ways. That tightness in your throat, that burning in your chest, a dry cough that wakes you at night, or that bitter taste in your mouth each morning. Maybe even nausea or breath that doesn't seem to freshen, no matter what you try. I've had patients who thought they had chronic sore throats. Others were told they might have mild asthma or allergies. But after running a few simple tests, we found the real issue wasn't in their throat or lungs. It was their stomach silently pushing acid upward night after night. Many people live with GERD, that's the medical name for chronic acid reflux, without ever knowing it. Because it's not a sharp, urgent pain that sends you to the ER. It's slow, persistent, and that's exactly what makes it dangerous. You might have been living with this feeling for years, and you've told yourself, it's just part of aging. This is normal. But no, this isn't how you're meant to feel. And the good news is, you don't have to live with it forever. Understanding how this works is your first step to taking back control over your health. In the next part of this series, I'll walk you through the deeper causes. why that valve weakens in the first place, and what you can do naturally and gently to start healing at home. If this explanation helped you understand your body just a little more clearly, leave me a comment below. Sometimes your story or your words might help someone else finally feel seen. And don't forget, I've left a free resource for you in the description of this video. Just a small gift to support you on your journey to feeling better. Silent symptoms you shouldn't ignore. There's something I often tell my patients. Your body always whispers before it ever screams. And when it comes to acid reflux, those first whispers are often very, very quiet. So quiet, in fact, that most people miss them or confuse them for something harmless. Have you ever experienced this? You finish a normal meal, nothing unusual, but 15, maybe 20 minutes later, there's a subtle burning in your chest or a dry burp that leaves a strange, bitter taste rising up your throat. Sometimes it's just a mild discomfort in your mouth, and you chalk it up to dry weather or leftover flavors from lunch. I once had a woman in her early 60s come into my clinic. She looked tired, defeated. She said, "Doctor, I've had a sore throat for 3 months. I've been through 5 rounds of antibiotics. Nothing's worked." She coughed every night. Her throat burned every morning. Her voice was getting hoarser by the week. And yet, there were no signs of infection. When we did a deeper exam, scopes, imaging, lab work, what we found wasn't an issue in her throat at all. It was her stomach, whispering upward night after night. You see, acid reflux doesn't always come as heartburn. Sometimes it looks like a burp that stings just a little, a strange bitterness in your mouth, bad breath that sticks around, even when you brush and rinse thoroughly, a cough that lingers even after the seasons change, or even worse, those restless nights, waking up choking or with a throat that burns. You might think it's allergies, but often it's your stomach acid climbing too far. But here's the scariest part. You might have gotten used to it. You've lived with it so long, you've convinced yourself it's just part of aging, or just poor digestion, or just dry air. But I'm here to tell you, it's not normal. And more importantly, you don't have to live with it. Getting older doesn't mean living with discomfort. No one is meant to fall asleep worrying they'll spend the night coughing, or wake up with a throat that feels like fire. So if anything I've said sounds familiar, pause, take a breath, and really listen to your body again. Maybe what you need isn't another prescription. Maybe what you need is a better understanding of the root cause, because what you're feeling could be the very first signs of GERD. In the next part of this series, we'll take a closer look at a bigger question. Why do these symptoms keep coming back, no matter what you've tried? You might be surprised to learn the answer isn't just in what you eat. It could be in your daily habits, the position you rest in after dinner, or even the stress you've been carrying quietly for years. And if this video made you think of someone, a friend, a spouse, a family member who's always coughing, always tired after meals, send this video to them. Sometimes a small video can change someone's entire path to healing. Why GERD is a silent but dangerous condition I often call GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, the enemy in the dark. Because it doesn't come with sirens. It doesn't show up with sharp, dramatic pain that sends you to the emergency room. It arrives quietly, slowly, softly. And that's exactly why so many people ignore it. We live with it for years thinking, it's just a little discomfort. I'll be fine. But the truth is, the conditions that don't cause pain right away are often the most dangerous, because we only pay attention when something hurts. And when all you feel is a little heartburn, a dry cough, or a restless night, you brush it off. Let me tell you a story. I once had a patient, a man in his mid-50s who drove long-haul trucks for a living. He told me, "Doc, I'm used to it. Heartburn is part of life. I just take some baking soda. It goes away." And yes, baking soda did give him temporary relief. But 5 years later, he came back, this time diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus, a serious complication of GERD. And more than that, he was entering a precancerous stage. GERD isn't just about post-meal discomfort. If left untreated, the constant acid exposure begins to damage the lining of your esophagus. Imagine a thin layer of skin being splashed with acid, day after day. At first, it's just mild inflammation. Then, small sores form. Then the healthy tissue begins to change into abnormal, unstable cells. That's Barrett's esophagus. And for some people, it can develop into esophageal cancer. I don't say this to scare you. I say this to wake you up. Because I know there are so many people out there, maybe just like you, who are living with acid reflux every day, but still saying things like, this is just part of getting older. It's only a little heartburn, it's fine. But the reality is this: GERD doesn't just affect your stomach, it slowly eats away at your quality of life. If it's not properly managed, GERD can steal your deep, restful sleep, leave you exhausted every morning, even after 8 hours in bed drain your energy, so you no longer enjoy food, work, or even a walk with your grandchild. And over time, it can wear down your mood and emotional well-being. You start to feel irritated, stressed, even down, and you don't know why. But often it starts with one simple thing. You didn't sleep well last night because your throat kept burning. You see, a condition that feels small can slowly erode the most meaningful parts of your life. But here's the good news. Once you understand it, you can take control of it. You don't have to suffer every night. You don't have to rely on medication forever. You can start rebuilding your health step by step, naturally and gently. If someone comes to mind right now, a loved one, a friend, don't hesitate to share this video with them. A small action today could help them avoid a serious condition tomorrow. And don't forget, I've left a special gift for you in the video description. Just a little something to support your healing. Now, if you've recognized yourself in the symptoms I mentioned, heartburn, bitterness in your mouth, dry coughing at night, or simply the feeling that you're no longer sleeping well, please don't ignore it. Your body doesn't always need to scream. Sometimes it just wants you to listen. And that moment of listening could be the first step toward peace in your meals, your sleep, your days. In the next episode, I'll walk you through the root causes behind chronic reflux, because sometimes it's not just the acid, it's your daily routines. That evening spot on the couch right after dinner, or the silent weight of stress that's been sitting in your chest for years. The one thing I hope you take away from this is, when you understand what's happening, you can change it. You don't need expensive machines. You don't need complicated solutions. Just the right knowledge and a little patience. If this video helped you or made you think of someone else who needs to hear this, tap like, share it, help us spread this message, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Smart Health Keys, so you won't miss the next part of this healing journey. Thank you for watching, and thank you for still believing that your health can always begin again, no matter your age.